I remember when Jeremiah became a Legionnaire for First Phorm. I remember him excitedly telling me about his friend Cody, who had tagged him in a post that advertised the Legionnaire program. The best part about this is that someone else noticed who Jeremiah was. He saw the ad and just knew he belonged and deserved to be a part of the company. Blindly and barely knowing anything about First Phorm, he applied online. And together I remember watching a video on the First Phorm website introducing the program, and that's when we knew First Phorm was a perfect match for us. It was April 2017, and we invested ourselves in First Phorm even when we didn't have the finances. Just a month ago, we finally paid off our credit card that covered those expenses. In June, we moved to Cincinnati, and on July 11th, 2017, Jeremiah had a well-deserved surgery. For 2 years, he suffered in pain and barely complained until eventually it was unbearable. We found out his labrum was torn, and so we went ahead with the surgery, and the expected recovery was 4 months, but it took Jeremiah 7. During those 7 months, I worked 60 hours a week, did college online, and took care of him. No matter how much I worked, we simply weren't making it. And eventually Jeremiah got a position as a personal trainer at a local gym, but it didn't change anything. We were maxing out credit cards, we were barely eating some nights, and we were dreaming about the days that we would have money so we could do something good with it, so we could do what we were meant to do. I remember my mom calling me on the phone and saying to me, "How could you be so happy for someone whose life sucks?" But that's just it. Our life was chaotic, but Jeremiah and I were grounded in who we are, and we knew that was just the beginning of our story. I tell you this because it was hard and we didn't know our life could change. We were working our tails off and didn't realize it would mean something someday. One night, we popped our tire on the side of the road at midnight. It was March, it was freezing, and we were stuck in the pouring rain. Luckily, we were coming home from the laundromat, so we could wear layers and layers of clothes, but we were still soaking wet. And we were honestly scared because it was a bad section of town. And we just so happened to be on the street where people get jumped, shot, and stabbed often. That night, I'll never forget, Jeremiah and I got in the worst fight we ever had. It was as though the stress of barely making it boiled and exploded in our faces. That night I cried out to God. I said, "God, my back's against the wall. Just make a way for us and help us escape from this situation." The next week, we were let out of our lease early and magically traveled back home to North Carolina. In July 2018, we found ourselves at the Church of God Children's Home and are now happily serving 8 boys daily. I had never known a man with such big dreams, so willing to humbly serve others. Jeremiah is just genuine. You know if he likes you and you know if he doesn't, but you always know his position, his motives, and his intentions are genuine. When he loves, and he loves to help others. He has a natural gift to serve and impact people in such a way that he leads them to positive change. It's a gift many leaders want and work overtime to figure out how to have it, but Jeremiah was born with it and it's effortless. When he at first became a Legionnaire, he was the loudest guy in the gym telling everyone about these awesome products and supplements. It wasn't about making money to him, but it was like he knew this awesome secret and genuinely wanted everyone to know about it for their own good. He really believes in the company and what it stands for, and he's loyal to give his support. If Jeremiah had a life motto, it would be, make friends wherever you go. For Jeremiah, we sit at a restaurant, we're in the grocery store, at the gym, the beach, the pharmacy, going through the drive-thru to get some coffee, and he's making friends. It doesn't matter where he is, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you're homeless, a waitress, young or old, ugly and outcast, if you smell bad or look weird, stutter when you speak, to Jeremiah it doesn't matter, you're his friend. He wants to know you, and he wants to change your life. Jeremiah is a motivator and encourager, but he's loyal, committed, and hardworking. He's so stubborn, but that's because he's committed to his decisions, to who he is, what he stands for, and what he wants for himself and others in this lifetime. When he wears those shirts that say, "We do the work," I always look at him and think of how fitting that statement is. In the gym, he's the guy working the hardest and the longest. Whenever I'm ready to go, he says, "Just one more set, just one more exercise," and he will fight you for the extra time. Every gym session is an opportunity to conquer and an opportunity for growth. To him, it's valuable time that can't be wasted. He will make sacrifices in his day and move mountains to fight for his time in the gym because he has his priorities straight. He's hungry for success and has his eyes fixated on his vision. If Jeremiah were to win the Athlete Search, it'd change his life, our life, and so many others. $50,000 is more than we make in a whole year's worth of work combined. But it's not just about our living expenses. We don't want to settle for comfortable, and it'd give us the chance to invest in beginning our own brand. Jeremiah never wants to stop impacting people, and it's more than just in a fitness sense. It's a person's whole life that matters to him. I think he's so passionate about working out because it changed his life. He was 14 when he started working out, and goodness was he small. Before Jeremiah was training anybody, someone was training him, and his trainer impacted his life. Leading a healthy lifestyle became everything to him because he lived in a small town in the sticks of North Carolina where he just didn't see it prioritized. His brother had type 1 diabetes and went through 48 surgeries, and he wouldn't commit to a lifestyle. When Jeremiah's brother was 25, he lost him to an unexpected passing in his sleep. Jeremiah was in college at the time, and don't even get me started about college. He had no intentions on going, and when he did, he didn't even know how to write an email. He wasn't as prepared for college as most people, but he put in the work and was a first-generation college graduate. This man would go to the library until midnight, and when they closed, he'd go to a 24-hour Denny's and sit there until 3 or 4 in the morning just to finish his tasks. He worked harder than anyone I knew. The day he received the call about his brother's passing, Jeremiah went back into his classroom and took his exam. When he finished, he then dealt with the trauma. That same year in the spring, he continued to prepare for a powerlifting competition and broke a national record. One of the worst traumas he had ever experienced couldn't even stop him. I guess what I'm saying is Jeremiah's worth it. Whatever you invest in him, he will deliver back to you double because he's just that kind of guy. He wants to be the best and give his best, and he won't settle for anything less. He takes every opportunity to grow and every opportunity to touch someone in some way. I watch him in action every single day at the children's home, impacting these kids and making them into little warriors. The goals he has for himself, he puts onto others and helps them seek towards conquering it. And in the background of everything is me, his wife. I'm his witness, and I see the work he does even when no one else is looking. What I'm sharing with you is so you can see him for who he really is and recognize that he is firstborn. He's not a poser, but he's a true representation that is worthy to wear the logo. He's a servant, a leader, he's Jeremiah, and he's firstborn. Just taking the chance to be a Legionnaire has caused him to grow, and me too. Jeremiah is so serious about constantly improving himself. He wants to make it. He doesn't just want, but he will do it.
I got a lot to go. A lot to learn. Still not done yet. A lot of learning to do. Nowhere near where I want to be. I want to be better. I just want to be better. And I want to help people get better. That's it. I want to help people. It's as simple as that.